أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So Alhamdulillah, this is the last session. Inshallah, I'll try not to bore you guys. One thing I would like to share before we begin is the purpose of us, getting together and having this small session of tarbiyah. Trust me, it took like 2 hours now, and like altogether it'll be like 3 hours, 3 hours of tarbiyah. Unfortunately, we don't give time to the tarbiyah part. In fact, just like Bro Fahad was saying, the actions, the physical actions are being, more of our focus. The salah itself, it wasn't made obligatory for the first 10 years, 10, 11 years, right? So the whole like this 10 years, it was the taking out of people from basically kufr to Islam, like giving them an actual purpose of life. So alhamdulillah, and this is the initiative which Al Ma'un we have taken, and alhamdulillah, with this number, it's really something, and it matters. Inshallah, I hope that we have such things going on again and again, inshallah. Um, my topic is basically about Tawheed, and let me give you guys some disclaimers before that. To be very honest, you guys might call me a kafir or something after this, I'd say, but there was a time, like after I, started practicing Islam, but there was a small, time in which I started actually not liking this word because of some reasons. Because I was like, this subject is always discussed to disunite, while Tawheed is actually, ascribing unity to something. So we are supposed to be united, but this topic is being used by some of us just to fight with, certain people, with certain ideas. And just like a small, small thought was given to this thing, and people are just discussing for the whole year, same lectures, hatred, like too much hatred was, you know, was instilled in our hearts because of this topic, Tawheed. And then I started studying Tawheed myself, like what it actually means, and the with a bit broader aspect. Inshallah, I'll try to you know sum it up as less as possible. Um, One more thing, guys, is these are my views. Of course, you guys can disagree with it, but whenever I do this, like choose a topic and try to study, what I do is like I believe that I was either wrong or maybe there was something I have to change in myself. We cannot the ego which is inside us, it doesn't want us to change. It says you're perfect, there's nothing wrong with you. Why do you want to go to this tarbiyah class? I mean, Profad is going to say the same things. So Farid is going to say this hadith is weak, this hadith is sahih, and khalas, and it's the same thing. Why do you want to go to the tarbiyah class, right? But there is this ego inside us which needs to be killed, and it can only be killed if you accept that I still have room, a very big, large room to change. So that's when you basically new ideas come into your mind. Even for the Quran, I studied the Quran from a single source, and again I was having this feeling that if I read Quran and if I go accept this translation or this tafsir, why does it make my my circle or my mind so narrow? Like there's something wrong. So that's when I accepted that I have to change. So I started changing. So the best opportunity I believe for us to change is Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the 5 daily prayers. Okay, you get used to it. You have the Friday prayers, and then you get used to it. But Ramadan and Hajj are like major things. If you want to change, it's, trust me, it's the best, best month of changing. We were talking about the marriage thing, and I spoke to my mom about my marriage. It was in Ramadan, and my mom was like, "You're too young. You're 21." And alhamdulillah, in Ramadan, it was all done. Alhamdulillah. So that's because you just decide that khalas, I have to do something. I have to change myself. So alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He helps us in changing. So regarding Tawheed, um, can anyone give me some idea about Tawheed? What does Tawheed actually mean? Single out Allah? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Any? Tawheed, yeah. So basically, we are talking about unity, aren't we? Okay, one. So get like united to this one. What's that Manchester United thing? All for one, something like that. There's something, right? All united for, I don't know, Allahu Alam. I forgot. Yeah, all for one, one for all. Okay. So Tawheed actually means ascribing unity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we are all united under Tawheed because we all believe in oneness of Allah Azza wa Jal. So, what kind of iman that was of Bilal radiallahu an, when he was being tortured, what was he saying? I had like one. But today, again, I would say this topic is used to do what? To fight with Muslims, right? So, so there's a difference. I mean, they understood the wahdaniya differently, and we understood the wahdaniya totally different. Okay, so the classical scholars, they have classified this into three. Okay, what are those three very famous ones? Sorry, Rububiyya, Uluhiyya, and Asma wa Sifat. I have the same topics, but inshallah, like in a different way. Uh, you know, uh, while describing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first of all, let us believe in one thing, that no one, if all of us get together, all the scholars, the whole world gets together to describe Allah Azza wa Jal, they cannot do that, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Kahf, if the whole of the sea, becomes the ink, and they to write the words of Allah, it wouldn't do justice. It wouldn't be enough, even if we give another sea of the same, right? So we cannot describe. So first of all, one thing should be clear, that no one can give you the perfect definition of Allah. Like it's this. Allah wants this. Allah wants this, and khalas. I'm talking about the men, of course, not Quran. Okay. So when we get stick to like one thing, one school of thought, they'll give you their own perspective of looking at things, and khalas, you'll start believing in that. Okay, you don't have to do that, because Tawheed is really something big. Allah Azza wa Jal, describing Allah is really something big. So you can't just take one thing and ignore the other. Anyways, moving towards the three classifications of Tawheed. The first one is the one and unique, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one and unique, in His Rububiyyah. What does Rabb mean, guys? Master. What else? Sustainer, maintainer, cherisher. Basically everything, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our everything. So first, accepting this thing that Allah Azza wa Jal is our Rabb, He is our master. Our relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is of a slave and a master. or a servant as or a master? What is it? Slave or servant? Slave. What is the difference between slave or servant? Sorry? Okay. Over his master. Okay. What about servant? Servant has a choice. While we don't have a choice. That, let's say I say, okay, I have a choice. If I want to pray, I'll pray today. Otherwise, it's okay. Allah can wait. I'll come tomorrow and pray. Right? So this is not the relation of a man and and his Rabb. So believing in Tawheed, Rububiyyah, basically, first of all, what it does is it produces inside you a highest degree of self-esteem and self-respect. Is the first thing you have to do. Okay, your character should show that you are the slaves of Allah. You're not slaves of dunya, or you're not slave of any other person or any organization or nothing. You are a slave of Allah Azza wa Jal. Your relation comes directly with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no middle man, okay, who's gonna play this role of, okay, you wanna pray and khalas, you tell me and I'll go to Allah and I'll pray for you, or. So we have, unfortunately, right, some sects who basically think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is too, high or too holy that we cannot approach, men, women like us who are like, totally like, sinful people, we cannot approach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to go through certain people, right? This belief in, a rububiyyah is actually, first of all, the direct connection of us with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing is we fear none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. Now, fear in what sense? It's quite funny. When we have our exams, exams result, we knew that it's gonna be really bad result. Okay. So, and a person comes and like, okay, how was your exam? He's like, totally not good, and tomorrow is result. And the guy's like, don't worry, man. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He can add that 0 to your 10. 100 marks. We remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that point, right? But when we get into some trouble with work, or we don't have work, or some financial issues, do we actually believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, He can do anything for us? He's Al-Qadir, Qadru ala kulli shay. Do we believe that? Okay, so I'm gonna share with you guys my personal story of beard, right? So in my workplace, it's not allowed, of course. So when I kept beard, so people were like, "Are you crazy? And they will fire you or something." I was like, "It's okay. My risk is not coming from these people, anyways, right? I just go there, just the source." So you have to have that firm belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He is your protector, He is your sustainer, okay? He's your master. I mean, the guy who is stopping you from keeping beard, who knows tomorrow he'll be there or not? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there, okay? So it's, of course, I don't mean that, you have to keep beard, otherwise you're a kafir or something. But why don't we have that, that firm belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Whenever we get into trouble, you want to get married, you try every, possible way, but you don't go towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why don't we have, like, if we need something, why don't we wake up for sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at night? It's difficult, right? It's funny, alhamdulillah, we come on every Fridays, play football over here. So I try to tell some of the guys that, Thursday night, which is supposed to be the weekend night, most of us, what do? Like, weekend night, let's party, man. Kal der tak soyenge, right? Okay, but sorry. So, but what about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yani, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the Friday night is the best of the nights, right? So we want a lot of stuff, but we are not even, we are not even like ready to sacrifice this weekend night, supposed weekend night, right? Can't we sleep like at 9 o'clock? Can you imagine sleeping on Thursday at 9 o'clock? Alhamdulillah, I do. But and wake up like at 2:30 and khalas, start praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the time in which almost like half of the world or more than half of the world is sleeping. And can you imagine, subhanAllah, this it was amazing experience, a gift from Bro Fahad in his Divine Connection workshop, about closing your eyes and feel that your ruh is up there and watching you yourself. Can you imagine like going out of this world where you can see that circle of earth, dark, and that light coming out from your house, that's you who is praying. Can you ever imagine that? Can you imagine those angels seeing this thing? That Noor is coming from your house because you're waking and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. While doing sajda at night, can you imagine that Allah Azza wa Jal, who created this universe, okay, and then He created basically everything. You were nothing, He created you from nothing to everything. He gave you everything. He is, especially if you learn the seerah, in which the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he goes for Mi'raj, so the point, the gates of heavens that open for him, and he goes all the way till the seventh heaven, okay, and still he didn't see Rasulullah, he didn't see Allah Azza wa Jal, but that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is such a big thing, I mean, you can't describe him. He coming down to the first heaven and we sleeping. Can you imagine that? That Rabb to whom we are going to return ultimately, right? Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that He is your wali in this dunya and akhirah. Now today I get into some trouble, okay? So subhanallah, we have this relationship with our mothers. I hope everyone is having good relationships with their mothers. You go back, run back to your mothers, okay, or your wives or sisters or your dad or your brothers or your friends, right? While you're in dunya, you fall sick and your loved ones, they take care of you. What about when you die? Who will be helping you there? Your wali who was in dunya, if you choose him as your wali, as your Rabb, he will be the one who will be protecting you there. So understanding this Rabb is really important. The problem with us is we just know, but we don't understand. We do not reflect that that character which we are supposed to adopt when we accept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our Rabb. So accept this accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and appreciate all the good He has done with you, and have this relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He will be the one who will be ultimately protecting you guys. One of the other things, important thing, I would say that when you believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your Rabb, is that you're not very much amazed with anyone's greatness. Okay? Unfortunately, we have in our culture that when you meet like Shahid Afridi or some superstars, you're like, wow, selfie, okay? You shouldn't be like, unfortunately Muslims go crazy with this, right? Maybe Shahid Afridi is still a good example. They go crazy with, Tom Cruise or some other guys. So we are not amazed by these greatnesses. Right? These are all greatness of dunya. Okay, people go crazy. They read, like, they spend half of their day reading the celebrity news. So obsessed with the greatness of dunya. Right? I have in my family, they say that, we had that great great grandfather. His name was mentioned in that book of British Army. Amazing, good, very good. So these are the things, when you accept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your Rabb, you uh, you change in yourself. These are the things which we have in dunya. People who are the slaves of dunya, they are impressed by these greatnesses. Okay, we have uh, unfortunately, these days we see that uh, a Muslim name, Allahu alam whether they are Muslims or not, Muslim name, they may be uh, fornicators, they may be, drinking all the time, promoting fahisha and other stuff. And when they, do something really big, it's like, Muslim did this. Proud moment. Okay, so if you think that your Rabb is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you see all the things from the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to think. Of course, how would you know if you don't read Quran, you won't know that. If you don't know Islam, you won't know that. That's the purpose, right? That's the purpose of these tarbiyah sessions, that at least we know what we are. You're Muslims, but we don't know what does Islam mean. You're Muslims, we believe Allah is one, we don't know what actually it means. Bas Allah is one, khalas. It's really easy to basically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this is the uluhiyya. What does uluhiyya mean? Oneness in worship. So, do you guys know what was wrong with Quraysh? Okay. Yeah. So we have, unfortunately, these days also, right? People go to like Peer, or people go to these people, and they think that they will be your wasta with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there are two other important things in this which I want all of you to, focus on, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, have you seen those who take hawahum, right? Their desires, right? So who take their desires as ilah. Okay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking, do you guys know those people who take their desires as their Lord, the one to be worshipped? Now, what does this mean? Again, today I'll pray, tomorrow I won't pray. It's okay. You get some saint. He says, as-salah yani fil qalb. Ahem shay. You have niyyah. Khalas. You don't need to do acts of worship. These are all like. And we have, in this worshipping your own desires, we fall into different stuff. We look, just like Brother Saif was saying, that people start looking at those scholars or those, school of thoughts, what they want the things to be, right? They want that, there is no much restriction on hijab, let's say, right? So let's go for some sheikh who says, hijab is not necessary. Fatwa shopping, yeah. So they have a weird interpretation of Quran, a weird interpretation of Islam, okay, and they do what they want to be. They want that, they move out freely with girls and stuff. khalas, they'll go and definitely get some fatwa out of it. There's nothing wrong in it. Sister, and I have, my heart is clean. Innamal a'malu bin niyat. Everything is perfect, right? And the other important thing in believing others, as your alaikum salam, in believing a different ilah, and this is it's more famous in modern times, and that is nationalism. Now, this is really, really important, guys. This is unfortunately very much inside us. I go to Pakistan Urdu school. I hate every guy going to Indian school. I come to football and I see all Indian guys. I see like Qazi running and Anas and and I make fun of brother Zuhair, who is a Pakistani but went to Indian school. Okay. Nationalism, guys, is very much inside us. Unfortunately, we have, these days we have new slogans coming up, सबसे पहले पाकिस्tan, or सबसे पहले Hindustan, that country, you name the countries, Pakistan awalan and Hindustan awalan, right? And with these cricket matches, that sense of nationalism inside us. This is, a poet says, like, among the modern gods, this is the new god, which is called the country. Okay. Now, why do I share this, guys, about the nationalism? I see some crazy stuff from religious people, unfortunately. So on one side you're doing some religious activities, and subhanAllah, that's amazing, really appreciate it. On the other side you're fighting, because you love this politician, okay, who might be the one who is promoting fahisha, but you love them because it's for Pakistan, it's for our country, it's good. For the sake of my country, I will do this. For the sake of my country. Where is Islam, ya akhi? Where is that the brotherhood of Muslims? And you know what it led to today? You see the condition of Muslims. I don't know. Like this person would be crazy who would say Muslims are perfect today. They don't have anything to worry about, because every person. It started individually, guys. And I don't blame, I actually blame those guys who say, country leaders and this, that. I blame myself and I blame every individual. We ourselves are too much into it. Why do we watch these cricket matches and, fight with our friends? I know a person, and this brother, he's an old guy, mashallah, like beard and everything, so religious. And that day, their team lost match to some other country, and this person stopped saying salam. Why? Because their country lost. Khalas, yani it was a war, like, and the bomb fell in their country, and khalas. What happens on the national days, guys? You have your car color changed. You have a lot of, first of all, it is israf. Second thing is it's tabdhir, right? Show off. And what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about these people? That they are the ikhwan al-shayateen. Israf is basically extravagance, and tabdhir is showing off. So we have people showing off with their cars, with their some bracelets, or some head scarves or something. Guys, what is this, yani? We living in again Pakistan, hate all the Indians irrespective of their religion. First of all, we are not supposed to hate anyone. We are supposed to hate no person, right? We are supposed to hate what? Evil. Okay? So no one says I hate all the, the Hindus or no. Everyone, you're supposed to love everyone. Islam promotes you to love. Allah wants you to love. Hate the evil, bas. Hate the evil inside the people. Don't hate the people. We have started hating other people. Trust me, people. I've seen Yani brothers. They get crazy with these with nationalism thing. And what's going on? I know for a fact in areas in Pakistan, this guy, it is as if he has taken a certain politician as his lord. Since his money is run by this person, he doesn't see al-haq wal-batil. He just promotes their campaign irrespective of what they are doing, how many people they have killed, yani, in broad daylight, people they have killed, and the torture they are doing to certain people, but they turn a blind eye towards them because what? My maslaha, yani, I appreciate this scholar, I appreciate this politician. Sorry, you might have this, a woman not wearing hijab and having like you're winning the swimming contest and you're like pride of nation, first Muslim to win the swimming competition. So this ilah, which we have taken, we have to take it out. And the best way to take this out is stop wasting your time with these matches. Second thing is involve yourself in community services. And community services that includes multinational people. Do anything good, but do it all together. Alhamdulillah, we have Indians, Sri Lankans, Pakistanis, Bahraini only. One Bahraini only. So, no, bas jawaz, huh? So involve yourself in these activities, and don't be like khalas, since I'm of a certain nationality, I will be in their club and support them and other stuff. No, stop this nationality thing. How much time do I have? 13 minutes. Then we have the belief in the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, just knowing it is not enough. The best thing is to live by them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the goal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to live by them. I really would request Bro Fahad to complete his Asma al-Husna, inshallah. So, of course, we don't have time for the whole thing. Inshallah, like I just have a few, names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I would share that how can we live by them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first name is Ar-Rahman, right? So there are some ayahs which relate to the slaves of Ar-Rahman, how they are. But I'll just have the first ayah in this regard, which is وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا. The Ibadur Rahman, the slaves of Ar-Rahman, are those who walk on the earth, what? With humility. They don't walk with pride. This is the first thing you have to do. وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامٌ. And when the jahil, the people who love to spread enmity amongst you, or illiterate people, when these people they talk to you or they want to create some mess with you, what do you say? Peace, khalas. This is Ar-Rahman, which we are talking about, the first name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are actually looking for issues. Anytime a person says, khalas, you reply with the worst thing, and khalas, the whole mess starts. It's about Ar-Rahman is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is on everything on this face of earth. It's not just for the Muslims, it's not just for the non-Muslims, it's for everyone. So as slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is must on us to have a good relationship with people of other faith. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is focusing on your character over here, the way you walk, the way you talk, right? And unless you have this good character with the non-Muslims, how can you impress them with Islam? So again, you're accepting Allah as your Rabb, you're worshipping Him, and this is what Allah wants from you, to live by these attributes. So no matter who it is, forget about what happened in the past. Right? Live in the present. Can you change anything in the past? Right? The other attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is He's Al-Ghaffar, forgiver. Right? Now, we would definitely like to forgive everyone. Okay? But we don't want to forgive that aunt which 40 years ago with my mother she had a fight. Is this Al-Ghaffar? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He'll forgive every sin other than what? Shirk. Right? But why are we not ready to forgive this aunt which like 40 years ago, or our mothers, 40 years ago they had a fight when your mom was newlywed and some fight happened in the house, and you have the grudge for like 40, 50 years, and you might be telling to your grandparents, that aunt, that day you saw her, she fought with my mom 40, 50 years ago. Ya akhi, forgive. And I believe that it's supposed to be every night before sleeping you forgive everyone. But if you're having some grudges with anyone for like 10, 15 years, forgive them before Ramadan. Tell them that I have forgiven you. It's not necessary that you hang out with them. It's not necessary that you have, since you have forgiven, khalas, you have to hang out with them, stay with them, live with them. No. You don't want to do that, don't do that. But at least forgive them. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Ghaffar. He wants you also to forgive. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Mu'min. What does Al-Mu'min mean, guys? Al-Mu'min. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Mu'min. Anyone? Any guesses, guys? Yes, it's basically believer. Mu'min, we say normally believer. But as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being Al-Mu'min, it means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects or guards your faith, your belief. And how can this apply to us? First of all, safeguarding your own iman. Okay. The second thing is safeguarding the iman of others. Now, in safeguarding the iman of others, we can have, you can always advise, brother, you shouldn't do this way, or I saw this thing wrong in you, and of course the other person should also be accepting. The other thing in protecting or safeguarding the faith is that you don't just see the person like, this is ikhwani, I guess. Not good, huh? Brother, stay away from him. He said such stuff, khalas, it's gone. Or this is like, selfie or something. And subhanallah, people will see, we have some people, unfortunately, they'll see, his thobe is a bit down. Khalas, ya akhi, he's some kind of weird. Don't listen to him. Huh? It's like, they have done the kufr in like 1 second, khalas. Where is safeguarding the iman of others? If any person comes to you, brother, that scholar, that speaker, he's not good, you say, Habibi Leish, what happened? What did he say? And this happened, like I asked a couple of guys this question. Like, Flan, he's a bit like this, a bit crooked. And I was like, what made you think like that? And they'll be like, yeah, yeah, he was saying. I was like, okay, this might mean something else, but you can't just, khalas, the whole, his iman, you have made it zero in front of others. Inshallah, go fast. Allah Azza wa Jal is Al-Adl, the, the one who do justice. How much justice are we doing, first of all, with ourselves and with others? We have, unfortunately, parents who treat their certain kids are differently, and certain kids are differently, right? They'll treat the the males, their sons differently. They'll treat their daughters differently. This is one example. The other example is when you go to the community level, right? You have like a learned person comes to you, and your nephew or your niece, they come to you. You accept your nephew or your niece for a certain kind of job, and you ignore the person who was more capable and more worthy of getting this job. The other thing is doing justice in at least words, best by saying words. Say the word of truth. You don't, like, because you are fearful of some other person, you twist your words and make it more uh, you know seeming good for others. That's not justice, right? And you know it's a story of you know two people, and one of them is Ali radiallahu anh. They come to Umar radiallahu anh for certain for seeking justice. And Umar radiallahu anh asked the first person, he calls by the name, and asks the person, like, what happened. And the guy explains his story. And then Umar turned to Ali radiallahu anh, and he asked, Ya Aba al Hasan, what is the problem? So he called him by kunya. And Ali radiallahu anh said, why did you call me with this name? And they left. Ali was like, I cannot accept justice from you, because you took his name and you called me by my kunya. How can I expect this justice from you? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-shukur, which is what does al-shukur means? Appreciating. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is appreciative of us. He appreciates with us with more good. We do something good and He gives us more good. How much do we appreciate others? How many times have you appreciated, to your brother, you did an amazing job, or thank you for everything you did. With our parents, how much appreciative are we, with our parents? Can we do justice by just small words to our mothers that, mom, you did everything for me. Dad, you did everything for me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a shukur. He wants you to also appreciate others. Appreciate. It's not like you should be waiting for some appreciation from others, but you as your own self, you should go and, appreciate others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-wasi', which means al-wasi', embracer. Embrace others. Be open-minded. Embrace new ideas. Embrace new people. But don't don't be just like very narrow-minded person. Be broad. Al-wasi'. Allah Azza wa Jalla is al-wasi', and He is the embracer, and He wants to embrace us all. Why don't we all embrace each other? Right? So these are the last one is ar-Rashid, which means guide to the straight path. Sorry. It's not must, guys, that especially a person like me, giving this small talk. I don't have any degree in Islam or Islamic knowledge or anything. It's just like my own experience. I'm just trying to share a few words. It's not necessary that we have like certain degrees that we are there to guide people. Every one of us, who is in different field, can guide a Muslim brother or sister to the right path they're looking for. It should be very easy. Have this community, communication with each others. If I have some difficulty, I just call up Bro Kazi. What should I do? Guide me in this. Bro Azhar, guide me in this. And you should be willing to guide others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Rashid. He guides people to the right path. He wants us to do the exact same job. Guide people to something good, okay, to the right path. And express your opinions, but don't make them the final verdict, right? Especially in Islamic knowledge. You can't just say like, khalas, you have to do this, and at the end it's my own opinion. You have to be, you can say, bro, it's my opinion. If you want to accept, it's okay. If you don't want to accept, it's fine. You should be okay with it. But every one of us should be willing to guide people. Okay? The difficulties which which I faced, I should want that, my brothers or my sisters, they don't face the same. Okay? So inshallah, yani, that's it. Sorry for boring you guys, but I hope these lessons really benefited us. And this is just the last thing, that this is my way of looking at things. I make like my thoughts like zero, like with all the assumptions of any topic I have, I make it zero, and then I try to get out of the box and then start thinking. People say think outside the box, but if you're inside the box, you can't think outside the box, right? You have to get out of the box, start thinking, bigger picture, and then even though to some it might not make any sense, but be different. It's all right. Okay. So that is it. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Yeah. Khalas. Yes.
I love when you mentioned that when somebody uses a bad word against you, or when somebody insults you, humiliates you, because in the Quranic ayat, the teacher says, Salam alaikum. So basically ignore them. So, but there are instances when you have to defend yourself. When, of course, somebody insults your dignity. So, does it mean that there should be no room for having your say in the matter, or is it just being in a way pacifist?
See, the best way possible is, what you can do is, if you get into such trouble, like anyone like insults you or insults your parents, live in the reality. Now, what happened? This is this stuff which I learned, right? What happened was, he insulted me, or he insulted my parents, and the reality is he did. Can he take his words back? No. Now, khalas, he has done this same. Now, what you do? You stay quiet. You can just ask him, why? Why did you insult? Like, calm. Why did you insult my parents? And trust me, this guy will, like, he might die over there, this question. Because such a polite way, you're saying, bro, why did you insult my parents? Or like, you walk away, next day call your bro, or call this person. Bro, yesterday you said bad words. Khair, inshallah, yani everything's okay. Why did you say that? The problem is, when we are really angry, and trust me, this is all like, with time it happens. It might be difficult in the beginning. Once you're angry, khalas, you will treat the other person as object, not as a human being. You need to learn how to treat others as human beings. It might be, you might not know that, of course. Sometimes I used to come back, I would come back home. I would see that my wife didn't clean the room. Okay, Now, the reality is the room is not clean. Why should I ask my wife why? Can't I take a brush or a vacuum and khalas, start doing it? The reality is, khalas, it happened. But I would get angry, why didn't you clean? And the reality was, my daughter, she didn't let her. She's my daughter, right? So I'm the cause again. So you have to, you need to live in the reality, and when you are angry, it's better to stay quiet, because you will speak and you will treat the other person as object, you will not treat the other person as a human being. Yes. خلاص.
Just have I have a say for brother Saif over here. It's just that Professor Asam had a different advice for each of the Sahaba. So, for example, if someone who was getting angry, he advised him to not get angry or to stay calm. Or so for each person it was different. So that's what I guess he's trying to explain for each person. So to start with one-on-one basics, what you could do is try to be calm or try to move away from the situation. That's all.
Jazakumullah khair. Yes. Yasir Qadi. No, Sira number, I don't know. This Ali radiallahu anhu. Umar. It's in Sira. If you're. Bro Fahad. Fahad Sarwani. It's the source. Yodo. Yodo Akaini.
Quran nights. Go and check.
Everybody's rubbing their chai. First of all, I would like to thank each and every speaker who came here and spoke with such nice topics which they had. Sheikh Farid, for the first time in front of everyone, plus in front of the camera as well. It was his very first time. Alhamdulillah, it was really good. And Bro Samani, as many of you might have known him since a long time. He has been a very good speaker and entertainer as well while on the stage. And brother Hashir is a new talent emerging in the island of Bahrain. Inshallah, we'll see him giving much more lectures with the same amount of entertainment and laughter which he does at his best. Especially in pasta. Okay, you want me to tell your specialization? He's an MBBS in some weird knowledge. No, you will come to know about Sheikh Farid inshallah soon. I don't know if you will allow me to speak about it. Can I? I don't know what's going on. Okay.
They want to describe you. What's your name?
Yeah. Well, anyhow, you might know him inshallah soon. Basically, people ask us that what Al-Ma'un is. I would like to tell you that Al-Ma'un is basically a social and educational project which has been started recently. It has been 2 or 3 months, and alhamdulillah, we have achieved a lot of things while we have been in operation. We have 5 members till now. 3 of them are here. One is traveling to Egypt as he has been selected for the University of Bahrain in one of his applications, which was recently selected at Microsoft, I believe. Microsoft Malik Jahangir. We have another brother who is Brother Hashir. You have seen him in front of you. He is basically an advisor with us and a speaker as well. We have our chief financial officer, Brother Rafiuddin. And we have one more brother. You will come to know him inshallah soon, and me myself. Our achievements were good recently. Previously, we have arranged so many gatherings out there within the brothers, but now we have reached people outside. As I can see, so many new faces. This is all because of the promotion which we have done online through our media channels and our brothers. Plus, we were having some giveaway events. Recently, we had one where we were able to give out 10,000 labans basically within Bahrain to 2 areas, that was in Alba and Salmabad. And inshallah, Ramadan is approaching. We'll be having many other projects coming in, which will be giveaways basically or every Friday, 3 Fridays except for the last Ashr al-Awakhir. We'll leave them with there'll be one Friday in the last 10 days of Ramadan. The other remaining 3 Fridays we'll be having giveaways. So if anyone would like to volunteer or pinch in some amount, they can contact us inshallah. And other than this, we can you can keep yourself updated to whatever events are coming in from Al-Maun. It will be ALMA300N. That's the account everywhere you can find: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and ALMA300N. That's Al-Maun basically. Coming up with the few events that are to be held in the coming days, day after tomorrow. Sorry. Okay, that was an end. We'll having not me but brother Hashir. He is also a lecturer in WISE. So they are having an event on 28th. So if you can give an update within 30 seconds of what the event is, go ahead.
So we have on 28th, which is Saturday, 3:45. WISE is Weekend Islamic School for Young Generation. We have there are kids from like 5 to 18 years old. Tawheed is teacher over there, and he'll be speaking as well for a short while. And our main purpose is basically to get more people familiar with the Weekend Islamic School. And the other thing is that since we are too much involved in our studies and studies, so Islamic knowledge is basically not given much focus. So this is the main reason we are doing it. How we do it, how we try to raise good Muslims, that's our objective for this thing. So do contact me after this for registration if anyone wants to.
Jazakallah khair, brother Asha. And there is also another event that will be on 5th of June, I believe. Welcome Ramadan. 3rd June, right? 3rd June. Welcome Ramadan. That will be in Gulf Convention Center, Gulf Hotel. And bro Fahd Sarwani is a speaker over there. You have to contact through Facebook someone. It's charged 5 dinars. You can charge him.
Information only. Information only.
Yeah, it's charged 5 dinars with I think dinner or lunch, whatever it is. So this is another event. 11th, what is that? Okay, yes, Surah Al-Hujurat is the event by Falak. The Falak team is here. We have Qazi. We had Ishraq. Where is he? He left? Okay, and we have bro Fahd Sarwani as well. So you can contact Falak guys for the 11th of June event. That will be followed by the iftar, I believe.
No, before after Asr,
Without iftar. Okay, buffet iftar. So every one of you are welcome over there. That's it from my side. I won't take any questions for now. Let me pray for you, bro. And yeah, one of the thing is the purpose of Al-Maun is to gather up all the organizations which are already working in Bahrain with youth. We don't want any old people coming in. That's I can say it loud as possible. So we currently have in connection. We are in connection with Falak, WISE now recently, Alhamdulillah, and there are a few others. Yeah, we have Sri Lankan Club, Abdul Latif's organization, Islamic Dawah Center, and then there was another center where Bro Imran is very active. So inshallah, within coming days, we'll be interconnected and we can do events all together. So we might have people from different sectors like media and speakers, officers. Yeah, Suhaib from Discover Islam.
Project Echo.
Project Echo, economy. Well, that's one from my side. I pray to Allah Almighty that may Allah give you success in each and every field of life. May Allah help each and every single brother who is not married. Guys, you can listen to me who are live over there. May Allah help you get married. Inshallah. It's Ramadan. And شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. You believe in this ayah in the month of Ramadan. Make sure that you read Quran as much as possible and make dua for others so that your own duas gets accepted. It's an applied formula, and most of you know that.
It worked.
It worked, not only for me, but for so many others. Alhamdulillah. And I hope that in the next Ramadan, most of you, I mean, all of you will be married, inshallah. And we can have a family gathering out there. جزاكم الله خيرا واخر دعوانا ان الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته.